Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ekad Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that root well and taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect and risking your lives and freedoms to do so. Definitely more so now than ever before. This is the brother Zion Amafi, GMS Detroit by Camp, and this is just going to be a quick lesson regarding the U.S. economy, all right, and the power of the dollar in terms of the U.S. dollar purchasing power is dwindling, is weakening, right, and this really is all by design, all right. First and foremost, by way of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because he's got this place circling the drain, all right? He's destroying America's economy because he's coming back to basically take what's his, which is the whole earth, all right? But he's doing this by way of the elites. The Heavenly Father, through his Son, is doing this by way of the elites, all right, who is Esau Edom, all right, the red man, a.k.a. so-called white man, a.k.a. the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? Most people refer to them as the illuminated ones, the Illuminati, right? Which is basically comprised of international bankers that just so happen to be Edomites. How about that? But anyway, all right, they're weakening the economy, man, through the dollar, because they use terms like quantitative easing, right, where they literally, right, create money. I hate to even use the word create because you didn't make anything. You just put some zeros and ones on a computer screen and say, oh, this is how much you got. You know, it's literally money out of thin air, all right, which is deception, all right. As you can see on the screen, it says the average U.S. household is spending $1,019 more a month just to buy the same goods and services it did 3 years ago. That's right. Because, again, right, what you have inflation, right? They call it inflation, where you're taking the same dollars, right, to purchase items that you always purchase, but now the items that you're purchasing now, right, they're just more, you know, they're anywhere from, I'm seeing on average, anywhere from, it could be like 33% more to maybe even 50% more than what you were purchasing, 2-3 years ago, right? And if it's not that, right, you also have something called shrinkflation, to where you'll buy, for example, a bag of chips, right? And the contents in that bag is not the contents that it was 3 years ago. It'd be the same size bag, but it's full of more air, right? And that's basically how you can sum up the dollar, right? With the dollar, it's as if they're blowing, filling a balloon with air, right, until it pops. And that's what's going to happen with this economy. They're going to stretch this dollar so thin to what it's going to be, deemed, unusable, and that's due to the fact that it's not being backed by anything substantial, right? It's literally just paper money. It's only money because the elites say that it's money, right? In fact, you have the term fiat or fiat currency, right? Let's see real quick. We're talking about fiat. Let's see what that means. Let's see. Fiat money such as paper currency, not convertible into coins or species of equivalent value, right? Because hey, you look at the, for example, That's a debt note, right? It doesn't have any intrinsic value, right? It's not tied to like it used to be, gold and silver. All right. Again, it's only money because the elites say that it's money. All right. But it's really no different than monopoly money. All right. Let's look up the word fiat by itself. Get a better idea what we're talking about. All right. Fiat, right? The word fiat means an authoritative, funny word to be used right now. If you know, you know. But anyway, an authoritative or arbitrary order, a decree, right? It says authoritative determination, dictate, right? A command or act of will that creates something without or as if without further effort. You see? So right, so just as I said, it's only money because they said it's money, right, through an unrighteous decree. Money, all right, when you go into the scriptures, money or wealth or riches, all right, is tied to gold, silver, or cattle, right? That's when a man is considered rich or wealthy. All right, matter of fact, quick example, what's that? Genesis, let's say, it's at 12 and 13. Yeah, this is Genesis 13. I started verse 1, and it reads, "And Abram, whose name was later changed to Abraham," all right, it says, "went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south." All right, here's the point. It says, "And Abram was very rich, right, in cattle, in silver, and in gold." You see that? So that's when you have some wealth, some substance. You see, cattle today would be likened to having a lot of cars, let's say, having a lot of antique, cars, right? That's like a one of one, or it's very rare to get a hold of, to find, may have very little miles, or, it's just something very unique, right, about, said vehicle, you see. And then gold and silver goes without saying, gold is scarce, it's hard to find. All right, so when you get some gold, you have, money that's literally from the heavens. All right, because the Lord is the one that creates gold, by the earth. But that's real wealth. So what we're spending, all right, on a day to day, that's why, right, this money is you're spending more of it, all right, because they keep printing these magical zeros and ones on the computer screen, all right, saying they have trillions of dollars, when in actuality they have, or it's money that's not accounted for, is the point. Because like I say, you look at a $1 bill, what it's going to tell you, it's a debt note, all right, used as a legal tender, all right. So that's that. So the scriptures speak on that, right? In fact, let's get this verse. This is Revelation 6. And point out waters in 5. It says, "And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, 'Come and see.' And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand." Now that's twofold, right? Because when you go into the Greek, all right, the word for balance is
Strong's G 2218, Zugas. Zugas.
Gas is that goes, all right. And it says a yoke that is put on drought cattle, metaphor used of any burden or bondage, as that of slavery. All right. So this basically on one fold represents us. That was our judgment, of us going into slavery under the so-called white man. All right. When you're dealing with the transatlantic slave trade, right, and all of that, the 400 years of slavery and counting, right? On one fold is dealing with that, but then also a balance, right? When you think of a balance as well, you think of, just weights. Things have to balance out, literally. If you put a weight on one side, all right, the equal value of that should literally balance out on the other side. You see, now let's take a dollar versus $100, for example. If you put a $1 bill right on a scale versus $100 bill, right, that scale is not gonna tip or sway one way or the other. You see, because it's paper, right? It's a $1 bill and a $100 bill is printed on the same sheet of paper, right? And again, it's only valued at $100 because everybody believe that's the case because the so-called white man says so. You see, but the minute that is deemed invaluable, then that's what it's going to be, and that's what we're coming into, right? Because this is all being done by design because the elites actually want to crash this dollar on purpose. Why? Because they're going into a new system, right? They've been speaking about it, all right, for decades. All right, one notable speech going back to Daddy Bush, all right, President Bush Sr., right, back in 91, he had a speech where he mentioned the term of I forget how he said, but basically something along the lines, this is a new idea, all right, and he mentioned, the term New World, Order, all right. So this has been the plan of elites all along, all right, and with that new order, that new system, all right, it's going to come a new way of doing things, a new way of transacting, of commerce, right? And that's going to be, through the digital age, technology, right? By way of them putting the MOTB within your flesh, all right? You're going to have to receive the CHIP, the RFID CHIP within your flesh, all right? You will have to do business in that manner, all right? And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil or the wine. All right, the oil and the wine is referring to the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. All right, but reading this also in the NLT, Revelation 6, verse 6, it says, and I heard a voice from among 4 living beasts, which were, it said, saying or say, a loaf of bread, a loaf of wheat bread, or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the olive oil and wine. So, right, a loaf of bread these days costs what? Can range anywhere from 99 cents up to maybe like $5 a loaf, maybe $6, depending on what bread you purchase, right? Whole grain, organic, blah blah blah. But that's somewhat affordable. That $6 really is on the high end for sure. Because I remember when you had this brand called Home Bride back like in the 90s, right? Came in a yellow bag. That was like that go-to bread, you know what I'm saying? And it was often like anywhere from like 69 to like 79 cent. Then eventually it went up to 99 cent. Then it went up to like, I think it was like $1. I want to say like $1.39 at some point. Then it just got phased out. I haven't seen Home Bride bread shit in a long time now, over a decade at least. But you know, anyway, saying now, let's say, you know, it was affordable, right? But now it's saying basically a loaf of bread will cost a day's wage. Now a day's wage in these days and times, right, can range from anywhere, you know, depending on what job you have, of course, but you know, could vary from say $200 to $300, you know, because that penny, all right, the denarius, right, back in the day, right, which was a soldier or a man's daily wage. All right, don't think of a penny in the way that we know a penny to be today, it being 1 cent. This is an old world penny, all right, 2,000 years ago, which had more value than a penny does today. But nonetheless, right, you were talking about a day's wage page. So this is going to the inflation to where, yeah, a loaf of bread, right, as crazy as that sounds, right, will cost a day's wage, will cost you $200-300, all right. And if that be the case, all right, let alone anything else, or anything dealing with grain in general, all right. This is we're talking about pizza, we're talking about oatmeal, cereal, you know, things like that, right? Anything to do with anything dealing with grain, right? It's going to be an absorbent amount, right? And when that happens, what you think the people are going to do? How you think people are going to react, right? That's unaffordable by any means, by anyone, especially hell of any class, all right? I don't care if you high, middle, or low, and it's really just the haves and have-nots these days, right? The middle class is basically obsolete at this point. So, but when that happens, when that takes place, all right, that's gonna fuel a civil war, because hey, people are about, all right, protecting theirs, providing for theirs. You know what I'm saying? So when everyone see at the same time that hey, your money has no value, right, and things are costing that much, people just gonna take what they want, all right? And then doing that, hey, it's gonna be, hey, the early bird gets the worm, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have race riots, you're gonna have, you know, class riots, right? You're gonna have civil war, right? Just on all fronts, you know. So that's just the Lord, you know, preparing, all right, for that evil day. You know, this is just one of the aspects, all right, dealing with the money. You see, so yeah, it ain't gonna be good, man. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be nothing sweet. And this is gonna happen in the very near future, all right? Especially when if they're to have another pandemic, right? And they ain't no telling how they may roll it out, but just thinking about the last pandemic, all right, that was like the beginning of the end of America, because in doing that, right, that gave them an excuse to print more quote unquote money out of nowhere, right, calling themselves, right, or under the guise that they're helping the people, helping people to, get back on their feet, right? Because everyone wasn't working, everything was shut down, right? So, in doing that, right, and we see him doing that just 4 years ago, we're seeing the effects of that, right? To where like everything is at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Everything, and it's showing up in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Lord is doing His thing, man. So no matter of fact, one more script, right, dealing with that thick clay. It's that this is Habakkuk 2 and verse 6, and it reads, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." Exactly. So this man is rich by one stealing everything from everyone, all right? Starting with the Israelites, all right? America is only great due to the free slave labor that you use the Israelites to build up this country. You know what I'm saying? Just in that, hey, they got one hell of a head start, right? All their families, all right? They got generational wealth, right? Off of our blood, sweat, and tears, all right? And that thick clay, all right, is basically dealing with debt. In fact, let's do this.
Strong's H 5671. Avteet. Avteet.
So it would be Ibabia, all right? And it says weight of pledges, heavy debts, something pledged being this U.S. Um, dollar, right? This fiat currency, right? We saw that it was a decree, right? So again, it's only money because it say it's money, but the more money, quote unquote, money that's being spent, the more uh, debt that's being tottied up or that's increasing. You see, and that's not a sustainable, right, way to run a business, a country, to run anything, right? You have to have checks and balances, right, to be, um, prosperous, right? So again, the Lord is destroying this place, right, by the illusion, right, of everyone thinking that they can be successful, thinking they can come here and get it, right, and be somebody, right? And basically it's gonna be to everyone's demise, right? Is that what the scriptures say? What's that? 1 Timothy 6. The love of money, right, is the root of all evil. A lot of people are motivated, right? They do things based on the idea of getting money, right? Because they believe this money can, change their life and, whatnot. But a lot of people are going to be sadly mistaken, right? For all these celebrities, right? The Mayweathers and the LeBron James and all these cats that, that have been getting these benefits, hey, they going to find out, And a lot of them, they already, they've been groomed to that lifestyle, so they ain't trying to give that up. So a lot of them are going to easily transition to the MOTB, right? But if you're an Israelite, that's what you're not supposed to do, because with that comes a severe, harsh judgment, all right? Ultimately, thermonuclear fire, right? If you take
of Esau's MOTB. Alright? So all you can do is repent, alright, turn to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, alright, keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, right, and watch and pray. So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise and honor and glory due to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Takwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.